sing. Quiet when I'm making beats, quiet when I'm trying to think. Sorry, I don't mean to scream, I just feel like no one really gets me, and it's sad to see, cause someday I'ma grow up and show up.
You was meant to be, yeah. Anybody wanna hear me rap? No. Come on, let me play a couple tracks. No. Come on, I can spit it really fast. No. You think I should throw this in the trash? No. Twitch ya, haters go away before I hit ya. I am not a beggar or a kisser. You don't understand my love for ya. I am not.
Now kicking one-on-one is, coach, how can I improve my leg speed? How can I get the ball into the end zone or farther in the end zone and more consistently? How can I punt the ball instead of punting it 30 yards with a 3.5 hang time? How can I get to 45, 50, 60 yards with a 4.8 hang time? How can I kick field goals more consistently, farther, with more trajectory? A lot of this has to do with our leg speed. And there are a variety of ways that we can improve our leg speed. Several exercises, but one of which is by using a bag. I was thrilled when Mike Doan said that he'd be carrying these bags. We've been using the big boxing punching bags for years. This is much lighter, much easier to use. And what we want to do for you today is take you through some drills that will show you how to use this bag, show you how this will make you a better kicker and punter. These drills do work. The kicking game was very successful and put 200 kids into college. So far in 4 years, kicking one-on-one has 75% of our seniors in college. A lot of the tools we use are very simple, and this is one of them. So we're going to take you through some exercises today. Coaches, this is a great tool you can use for your kickers. I would highly encourage you to get one of these bags and to start using this. So today we'll show you some drills that'll make you a better kicker and a better punter. We're going to start with our drills, and the first thing we're going to start with is field goals, how to set up the field goal drill with the bag. So our first step in this process is to find a rigid surface, something that's not going to have any give in it. We're going to use this pylon right here, or this pad here, to start. I've got Grant Schober from Maranatha High School helping me today. So our first step is to take our bag and to make sure that we've got it up against a rigid surface. Also make sure that there's no space or gap on the bottom of the bag, so we want everything nice and flush. This is our setup, and we want to make sure that if we hit the bag, there's no give in it. And that's our step one. All right, step two. So once we have the bag up against our rigid surface and it's flush, now we are going to assume our standard kicking, striking position. So Grant, if you will, let's put our plant foot up next to the bag. Almost pretend like this is your tee. Perfect. So ideally what you want is your plant foot even with the front of the bag if you can. And we're going to adjust our kicking foot to the appropriate depth and the appropriate width that it would be at if we were kicking the football. So almost imagining that we had a football here, and we're assuming our standard striking position, and that's step two in the drill. All right, so part of step three, and one thing I wanted to emphasize is, as we get set up here, a couple things that we want to do. Number one, and Grant, if you will touch your knee to the bag, and if you need to adjust your plant foot up, go ahead and do that. So we want our knee touching the bag. Part of this drill, and we'll show you in the drills in the video, we don't want to have our knee bent when we do this drill. So as we set up here, we want to make sure that our plant foot is correct, our kicking foot is in the proper striking position, and that our knee is touching the bag. All right, so step four, now that we have everything set up, Grant, go ahead and put your knee against the bag, and let's get our foot position set up again. Now we want to make sure that we have the proper body position like we were kicking the field goal, meaning we don't want to be standing straight up. We want our shoulder tilted in a little back, with our hips out, just like we were kicking the field goal.
So once we have our plant foot correct, we're in our striking position, we have our knee against the back of the front of the bag, then we want to assume our normal body position here. So step five, once we have our proper plant foot positioning, once our kicking foot is in the proper striking position, once our body lean and our body positioning is correct, now we're going to execute just our proper field goal kick. We're going to control our backswing back, and we're going to give it some speed going forward. Grant, go ahead and demonstrate for us. Perfect. One thing we want to emphasize, don't move your leg here, Grant, is as we do these drills, and you'll see in our drills what we're going to show you, is we want to make sure this knee is straight. What we don't want to have happen is this knee to bend past the bag or into the bag. So nice job, Grant. We want everything nice and straight. So the first drill is what we call a slow motion drill, and what we are trying to emphasize in this drill is proper technique. So when we get set up here, some of the things that we want to emphasize with proper technique is, number one, when we start, we do want our knee touching the bag, but we also want our kicking foot, we want our toe pointed down. We want to keep that down the entire time that we go through the kick. As we come back, we don't want to hurry back. We want a nice controlled backswing about parallel to the ground. Now, as we go forward, we want a slight knee drive, and we're going to lead the kick with our foot first, so that as we close out, we're locked out on the bag. What we don't want to have happen in this drill is to get our knee in this position, where our knee's bent and our knee's either coming forward into the bag or, even worse, past the bag. We need to make sure that everything is locked out and straight as we bring our leg back, and as we come forward, everything is locked and straight. So Grant, again, we're emphasizing technique on this drill. Let's go ahead and go through it. Let's go ahead and hold the bag. Let's get our proper plant foot positioning. Good, let's get our foot in striking position with our knee up against the bag. And again, this is not 100%. We're trying to get the perfect kick. Go ahead and go through it, Grant. Give me a couple reps. Good. And again, we want to make sure that as we close out, everything is pointed straight down with our toe, slight bit of knee drive, and leg snap. And as we come through, we want to lead the kick with our foot. We don't want to lead with our knee. If we lead with our knee will pass, so we don't want to pass it. So we are going to lead with the foot down. Go ahead, Grant. And again, here we're trying to emphasize proper technique. Going at about 30–40%. Keep going, Grant. A couple more. Good. Good. Make sure that knee's nice and straight against the bag. Perfect. And this is a drill, 20–30 reps of this, just emphasizing that perfect technique. All right, so this is what we call our build-up drill. In our slow motion drill, we were emphasizing proper technique, trying to get that perfect kick in that perfect position. This is our build-up drill, and this is where we want to try to emphasize speed now at this point. And at this build-up drill, what we're going to do is start at about 10% of power, go through our proper kick.
And as we go with each kick, we want 10%, 20%, 30, and we're going to gradually build up our leg speed until we're hitting it as hard as we can. So Grant, let's try to start now. And if you need help, I'm going to actually come behind you and hold the bag for you here. So let's start at about 10%. Good. Let's go to 20, 30, 40, a little bit faster. Keep going faster. Good, good, good. And we want to work this all the way until we get to about 100%. So about 10 kicks in a normal drill. If you want to do a couple sets, that's fine, but 2 sets would suffice for this. And again, just take your time. This is a speed drill, different than our slow motion drill where we want the perfect technique. This is about speed and power. We're going to go through 3 separate drills. First, just like we did on the kicky side, this is going to be our slow motion drill. And we're going to have Grant demonstrate it. And as you go through the punt, a couple things that are important. Number one, as we step through, we want to keep our shoulders over our hips, weight on the balls of our feet. We want to first kind of assume our standard striking position as our leg comes back. And as we move forward, we want a little bit of knee drive, and we want to snap against the bag. When we hit the bag, we want our body forward, we want our legs straight, and we want our toes, our ankle, and everything pointed straight down. What we don't want is our knee bending as we hit the bag. If I come up and I hit here, that's improper technique. So as we go through this, and as we hit the bag, it's knee drive, toes are curled, ankles locked, and we snap on the bag with our leg as straight as we can make it. So I'm going to have Grant demonstrate the slow motion drill. Good, nice job. So again, our slow motion drill, we are emphasizing technique on this drill. We want to make sure that our ankle is locked and down, toes curled under. Go ahead, Grant. And when we strike the bag, we want to make sure that we have our knee straight. Good, perfect. Again, about 10 to 30 of these reps is fine. Good. So we've done our slow motion drill. We emphasize our technique. Next step, just like we did on field goals, is the build-up drill. So we'll have Grant demonstrate again, and same thing. As we go through it, this is now for speed and power. And each rep that we take, we're going to try to speed up our leg as we go along. We're going to show you the short step drill, the long step drill, and the full step punt drill. The short step drill, we're going to take a position next to the bag. We're going to have for right-footed punters, we're going to have our left foot forward. For left-footed punters, you would have your right foot forward. And as I'm right-footed, I'll demonstrate right-footed. We're going to have our left foot forward, and we're going to take a very short step with our left foot. And we're going to come here, step, and lock on the bag. So left foot forward, short step, back, and lock. We want to do a couple reps of that. After that, we're going to do our long step drill, which essentially, for you right-footed punters, we're going to just move our left foot back, and what we're assuming is we've already taken our first step in our punting progression. And really, the long step drill essentially is just your full second step in your punting progression. So we're going to start here, right foot forward, we take our full step, we come back, and we lock on the bag. Next, and we do a couple reps of that. So a couple reps of the short step, a couple reps of the long step, then we're going to go into our full steps. So again, for right-footed punters, we have our right foot forward, left-footed punters, left foot forward, and we're going to go through and take our full 2 steps, and step twice, come back, and again, hit the bag. So it's a gradual build-up. First thing we work on is our leg lock only. We do a couple drills to emphasize that. Then we go into short step, long step drill, and finally, full step. So Grant's going to demonstrate now. We're going to start with our short step drill. Nice, Grant. Good job. With 2 of each. Now we're going to go into our long step drill. There you go, Grant. Good step. Good. Nice job. You're locking in. So again, a couple of each. One nice thing Grant's doing is his body movement is coming over the bag, and that's one thing that you want to see when you do this drill. Okay, full step drill. Good. One more. Nice. And a good way to do this, do a couple sets, 2 each. So 2 short step drills, 2 long step drills, 2 full step drills. maybe do about 4 or 5 sets of each.